Well, we just celebrated 200 episodes of the podcast, and we have a special Shortie edition this week as we welcome in the Senior Director of Marketing for Danny Wimmer Presents, who's behind Bourbon Beyond and Louder Than Life coming up this September in Louisville. Let's welcome in Holly Doscher.
Congrats on your 200th episode. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Holly. I appreciate you coming back. Last year we talked about the two festivals you guys have in Louisville amongst the many that you guys put on all across the country. And I feel like you guys went a little above and beyond, so to speak, with Bourbon and Beyond this year with 2 more stages and 50 more artists and bands.
I really believe this to be the lineup of the year in the country. It is such a stacked lineup. Our talent team absolutely crushed it. I still get nothing but people reaching out to me asking about it and how they can go. So we're all very excited about the success of Bourbon and Beyond this year. It's actually setting to set attendance records for our company, not just for the festival. It is absolutely going to be the largest for the festival, but in our company's history, we will have broken attendance records.
So a big thing, and you guys this year added 2 more stages, and like I said, are bringing in 50 more artists. How did that come to be, and why kind of go that route?
As we scale to go bigger and better, we're just providing more for everybody. It just amplifies the experience, and like I said, it provides more for everyone. So it enables us to do more with our genres and bring more of a community in.
Well, and with that, obviously, I'm assuming the setup has to be a little different if you're adding 2 more stages. Before they were kind of right next to each other. You'd have a bluegrass stage, the food, culinary, and bourbon kind of around on the side as well. So how does the setup differ this year? I'm guessing with more stages and bands and people, I'm guessing it won't be too crowded, right?
It won't be too different. Site-wise, the experience will still feel the same. The workshop, which is our bourbon and culinary stage name, is actually going to be 1 stage this year, alternating between experiences. So that is something different to expect, but it allows us for more music.
Awesome,
but you'll still see
awesome.
side-by-side stages.
Okay, all right. And obviously, like you said, you've got the bourbon and food play a big part in this event with, it's in the name, Bourbon and Beyond. Starting with that bourbon, y'all have assembled a great lineup there of guests for the experiences from well-known master distillers to musicians and influencers taking part of it. Can you talk a little bit about who folks would see on that side, on that Beyond part for music?
Yeah, we actually just released who our lineup is for our bourbon and culinary talent, and today we'll be kicking off our set times for both musical and bourbon and culinary experiences from the workshop. So we will be rolling out our app on Monday. So for fans that are curious and want to get to know about all of our different master distillers that are world renowned and our culinary talent, check out and download our app and our website to read more about it.
Well, and to be able to bring all of this together, the bourbon, the food, the music, how much effort goes into the planning? That's a lot of people to bring in, and I'm guessing it just doesn't happen overnight.
It does not. It's months and months of work. We have an exceptional team that works with our culinary and bourbon talent. They collaborate with our talent team too. So we are not just bringing the best of the chef in the industry, the best of the chefs in the industry and bourbon talent, but also our musical talent are coming on stage and collaborating with those artists as well, or with those that talent, the bourbon and culinary talent.
I was gonna say they're artists, a different type, and I was gonna say you mentioned that. What's it like to get those artists to take part in, say, maybe a bourbon chat or tasting, and then maybe also a culinary experience where they're getting to work with a chef and have some fun that way? I'm guessing some artists are all for that.
They absolutely are. We really look and lean into where their interests lie. So it's not random. We're not just asking any artist and saying, okay, this artist we think would be great because it's this artist and we think that will pull a crowd to our chef and bourbon talent. It's based off of their interests as well. So when we know that there's an artist that's really into bourbon, if they have their own bourbons, even that happens some years, to share about it. But also we just lean into what their interests are and what's going to be the best for their experience, the artist experience, both the artists, the chefs, master distillers, and our fans. What's going to create the most wholesome community for like-minded individuals? We have our foodies, we have our bourbon connoisseurs. How can we create something that's an exceptional experience for people to watch? They get to be involved in tastings, both on food and bourbon. If you've been, you know that there's people that line up to get those tastings too. So it's a great experience for everybody.
Well, and I was going to say, you know, for those that are coming to the event, like you said, you've got an amazing lineup on the bourbon side, the culinary side, Chris Santos, Edward Lee back to host, an incredible lineup of musicians. What can folks expect throughout the 4 days there, you know, as far as different options that they'll be able to enjoy?
Truly, it's in our tagline, the perfect blend of bourbon, culinary, and music. If you love those three things, this festival is for you. If you don't know what kind of bourbons you love, there are so many options for you to find out and learn what your palate will like. Some of our partners that have activations outside of our programming on the stage have tasting experiences at their activations, so you can go and taste a flight of bourbons and figure out which is best for you. Everyone has a different palate, so we kind of offer an exploratory experience as well. Maybe you don't know that you actually like bourbon, but once you go and sit down and taste a flight, you're like, wow, I really liked that.
I was going to say, it truly is something for everyone there. And like I said at the beginning, it's not just Bourbon and Beyond. You have Louder Than Life that follows up the next weekend. Mm-hmm. What can folks expect at Louder Than Life this year?
A lot, actually. We have a bunch of different unique performance plays. So reunions, we have Slayer, one of 3 festival performances for the year. And not even just festival performances, just performances. If you want to see Slayer's reunion, we're one of 3 places you can do that this year. Biohazard's also another reunion play that we have. There's anniversary celebrations. Slipknot is celebrating their 25th year of their self-titled album. Mastodon is playing their album Leviathan in full. It's their 28th anniversary. And then also Seosin is celebrating their 20th anniversary. We have very sad, but Sum 41 is retiring. It's their last Kentucky show ever. And then an exciting one that the fans have been asking for years, even when I was managing socials, I would see it all the time, was a request for Lorna Shore to play. So lots of exciting stuff there.
Yeah, I was going to say two stacked weekends and 4 days worth as well. It's something every single day, an amazing lineup every day. And I know you guys put on events, festivals all across the country, all throughout the year. But what's it like having back-to-back weekends with festivals in the same spot?
We're building a city within a city. Our team comes out a couple weeks before the festival to build a said city to make sure that everyone has a safe and fun and comfortable experience. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and bourbon that goes into the making of this. After hours, our team might be exploring bourbon as well. You're in bourbon country, why not? But we have a passionate team that comes through, and among our group, if you ask many what their favorite festivals are in our portfolio, they always say they can't wait for Louisville, just because the feeling that fans feel when they're walking around and that energy that runs through everybody and that evokes through everybody, our team feels as well. It's an exciting place to be for 2 back-to-back weekends. It's actually really sad when you're leaving and you're like, wow, this is over. The city we just built is all coming down.
Until next year, right?
Until the next year, correct. Well, actually, so outside of Louisville, we actually have 6 back-to-back festivals kicking off Labor Day weekend in Oklahoma. That's 2 back-to-back as well. So that's Rocklahoma and Born and Raised, going into Bourbon and Louder, going into Aftershock and Golden Sky, which are also back-to-back weekends in Sacramento.
So you guys stay busy, is what I hear.
We do. We stay busy.
Well, and for those that are looking for tickets and more information, you mentioned the app for Bourbon and Beyond. Where can they get? Are there still ticket options left? Because I know it's getting close to the festival, and I'm guessing there's maybe a fewer bit of options. But what's left, and where can they find more information?
So for Bourbon and Beyond, passes are very limited. As I mentioned earlier, it is setting attendance records for our company. It's going to be not only the biggest Bourbon and Beyond in the festival's history, but in our company's history of events. Welcome to Rockville this year hit over 200,000 fans. We're looking to exceed just that. So it'll be neck and neck with welcome to Rockville, if not further. But as a single day attendance record, our Zach Bryan Saturday, which is sold out, is huge. So if you want to see Zach Bryan, you got to get that weekend ticket now before those are gone. Some single day tickets are still available. On the GA side, we're completely sold out of VIP. For Louder Than Life, we still have passes available. Again, with that though, we're beating last year's attendance record, so passes are becoming limited. We did just introduce a skybox to Louder Than Life, which is above that second level of top shelf, for those that are familiar with that. So if you were interested in those top shelf passes, they are reintroduced with a new level, so very limited amounts of those are available. And for those that maybe feel like they can't afford it right now and they're on the fence because of finances, we do have a buy now, pay later option for both festivals, which enables people to buy their festival passes now and continue paying after the event. All of these options can be found on the passes page of our websites. If you go to bourbonandbeyond.com and louderthanlifefestival.com, click that passes tab and you'll get to see all of our offerings, what's available, and that buy now, pay later option as well.
I was going to say, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing experience, and like you said, 2 stack lineups that I think folks are going to be there. If they're not, they should be there for every minute of it, because I think you're going to be surprised by some of those early acts and then really enjoy those headliners at the end.
Look, my mom went 2 years ago to Bourbon and Beyond, and she is obsessed. She goes every year. She tells all of her friends about it, and she's not a big festival person. That's something, she's 65, and she absolutely loves it there. And even this year, she's like, how did you guys pull this off? This is the most insane lineup. And her favorite thing is learning the new artists. So she gets there and runs to VIP, like literally is one of the people actually running so she can get her seat, making sure that she's there for the day. But her favorite thing is exploring new artists. So I think that is one thing, when you go back to your initial question on why we're adding more bands, it's to explore and learn and diverse your music taste.
Well, and like I said, I think you've done an amazing job. Of a few of those folks are on the podcast. If you're looking for a little bit of a deeper dive, check our archives. I think you'll find several of them, from Whiskey Myers, who's on the big stage, and Co Wetzel, down to East Nash Grass as well. So, Holly, I appreciate the time, and thanks for talking about Bourbon Beyond and Louder Than Life.
Sneak peek, because it's not live yet, but if you follow our socials, Bourbon and Beyond on Instagram and any of our socials, actually, whatever channel you prefer, we are launching a meet and greet fan diem contest. So it's a donate to win, benefiting our friends at Living the Dream. So if fans want a chance to win a chance to meet Whiskey Myers, there will be some other artists that I'm not going to disclose yet. I'll keep that as a surprise, but because you mentioned Whiskey Myers, that I dropped that in there. That will be a contest running for a few weeks, launching tomorrow.
That is awesome. That is amazing. Just another reason you should be following them along, because you never know what you might miss if you if you're not. So,
yeah.
Holly, I appreciate that, and thanks for, like I said, sharing a little bit of Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life with me.
Of course, I hope to see you there.